و ببینین در اینجا کتاب پیشواز تاجکان، کتابی هست که جناب یاور صاحب گرامی به چاپ رساندن، نوشتن و به لطف الهی در این محفل 100 جلدش به دست ما رسید و این کتاب اولین کتابی را که خودم میخوایم خریداری بکنم و $25 هم اینجا آماده گذاشتیم که اول خودم باید بخرم، نه با صاحبش تسلیم میشه. ما افغان هستیم بیادر. خب کتاب در اونجا هست و یا ای که دوستا به دست دارن شما میتونین که خریداری بکنین. قیمتش $25 است و امیدوار هستم که این کتاب به دوستا و عزیزا رفیقها همچنان معرفی بکنین که خریداری بکنن. یک جهان سپاس. امضایش هم در کتابی که خریدیم بکنین، هم در کتابی که تحفه گرفتیم بکنین.
تحفه است.
شما تحفه دادین؟ بله. تشکر میکنم. یک جهان سپاس. تشکر میکنم. این بهترین تحفه است. از محترمه ناجیه جان حاجی زاده دعوت بکنم که 2 دقیقه شعر خدا برای شما عزیزا بخوانن. خانم ناجیه جان حاجی زاده محقق و دانشمند و شاعر هستند و افتخارشان کف بزنید.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. از دوستا خواهش میکنیم در جای خود تشریف ببرن. گرچه ما آماده نیستم که صحبت کنم، اما جوانای مبارز و دوستای نازنین هموطنای قدر دان خود که وقتی که دیدم ما هم یک انرژی مثبت گرفتم تا بتونم یک چند لحظه صحبت کنم. گفتم سکوت کنم اما نمی شود. گفتم سکوت کنم اما نمی شود. در شهر من که درد وطن جا نمی شود. در گوش من صداست، صداست پدر زنگ مکتب است. در گوش من صداست پدر زنگ مکتب است. امروز دخت ناز تو دلتنگ مکتب است. یارب پدر جواب برایم نمی دهد. یارب پدر جواب برایم نمی دهد. از ترس یک کتاب برایم نمی دهد. تا بر دهان جهل نخورده است مشت سخت. هر جا که دختر است چنین است تیره بخت. تشکر. زه هم په خپل زوار سره تاسو ګران او قدرمنو میلمنو ته د مینې ډک سلامونه او نیکې هیلې وړاندې کوم او تاسو ته د زړه له کومې ښه راغلاست وایم. اگر در بی‌عدالتی ها بی‌طرف هستید بدانید که طرف ستمگر را گرفته اید. هیچ ظالمی وجود نمی داشت اگر مظلومان در برابرش سکوت نمی کردند. تشکر. زنده باشید. من به نمایندگی از زنان بی صدای افغانستان می خواهم تأسیس جنبش صلح و آزادی را برای تک تک شما جوانان مبارز و سلحشور کشور خود تبریک و تهنیت عرض کنم و از خداوند برایتان قدرت و موفقیت های مزید را آرزو می کنم. ما گرچه شاعر نیستم اما چند کلمه را که سر به سر کردین در وصف آزادی براتان تقدیم میکنم. زنجیر و زندان را شکن پرواز را سامان بده. زنجیر و زندان را شکن پرواز را سامان بده. حالا که مست و زنده ای هر درد را درمان بده. در خط و سیر زندگی هر جا که میخواهی برو. تقدیر را نادیده گیر عقل و خرد را جان بده. بر زندگی تهمت مزن از کوره را ترسی مکن، مستانه رو در راه عشق، جان را به آن جانان بده. یزدان تو را شاد آفرید، یزدان تو را شاد آفرید، از بند آزاد آفرید. بال و پرت آسوده کش، پرواز را جولان بده. از جنگ و نفرت دور شو، راه محبت پیشه کن. از جنگ و نفرت دور شو، راه محبت پیشه کن. از قتل و غارت دم مزن، بر عدل و صلح فرمان بده. بر جسم و جان خود بناز، بر دوستان خود بساز. خالق تو را پیدا نمود، ناشکریت پایان بده. هر خوب و بد آید ز تو، ای نوجوان میهنم. هر خوب و بد آید ز تو، ای نوجوان میهنم. بیدار شو رنگ نبین، بر ملت افغان بده. تا قله های آرزو شاهین وار باید شتافت، تا قله های آرزو شاهین وار باید شتافت. از قله پامیرها تو بر جهان فرمان بده. رسانه حال علم را در دی و شهرت غرس کن. رسانه حال علم را در دی و شهرت غرس کن. جام ز فیض دانشت هر جا به این و آن بده. تاریخ تحریر از این 9 2020 است و این یکی از سروده های خودم می باشه که تقدیم شما امروز کردم. و ما باز هم از صمیم قلب برای شهدای گلگون کفنی که در ولایت کنر و ننگرهار و هر قسمت از وطن ما اونا جام شهادت را نوشیدن، بر از اونا بهشت برین آرزو میکنم و برای بازماندگانشان صبر جمیل و آرزو میکنم هر کسی که هر توانی که داره اینا به کمک به این زلزله زدگان بشتابن. و ما که قسمی که قبلا هم براتون گفتم به نمایندگی از دختران بی صدای افغانستان، ما یکی از بنیانگذاران مکاتب آنلاین در افغانستان هستیم که دخترانی که از مکتب باز مانده از صنف 7 به بالا، ما از سال 2021 تا به حال کوشش کردیم که مکتبای آنلاین برشان باز کنیم و اونا را مکتبا را به خانه هایشان ببریم. و امی قوت قلب از طرف تمام دوستا بوده که ما توانستیم که این مکتب تا فعال پیش ببریم و گسترش بدیم. که ما از محترمه نایی جان که وقتی که رسمایشان دیدم بسیار خوشم آمد. یکی از یونیفرم مکتب ما همچنان چادرای زرد است که ما اینجا وقتی که عکس دیدم بسیار ازشان قدردانی میکنم که اینا هم همیشه سپورت کردن، حمایت کردن همین پروگرام ما را. دیگه به افتخارشان کف بزنین، رسامیای بسیار خوبش دارن و همیشه از دختران بی صدای افغانستان کوشش میکنن که یک صدای باشن. و سلام های گرم خدا به مادر بزرگوار ما استاد محترم استاد معوش هم تقدیم میکنم. ما آمادگی سخنرانی نبودم، اما وقتی که شما را دیدم یک انرژی مثبت گرفتم، یک چند کلمه گفتم، خدا کنه که قابل قبول شما قرار گرفته باشه. تشکر از همتون.
من میخوایم که استیج و گردانندگی برنامه را واگذار بکنم، تقدیم بکنم خدمت خواهر عزیز ما، خواهر گرامی ما زحل جان. زحل جان بهادری رئیس افغان امریکن کمیونیتی هستند و در این بخش میخواین که گردانندگی مهمانای خود داشته باشن و ازشان دعوت میکنیم که برای استیج تشریف بیارن و به افتخارشان یک کف محکم تر.
دوستان عزیز، السلام علیکم و رحمت الله و برکاته. Thank you to our esteemed non-Afghan guests for your patience tonight. I know it's been a long night, but we really appreciate you being here with us. Before I begin, as I was listening to the previous speaker, Kaka Muhammad Kushan, speak about how our elders are fleeting and how it is the youth who must eventually carry their vision forward, it touched me deeply. And so this is for the youth in this room. Are you paying attention? I know some of us have left. Do I have your attention back there? Yeah? Oh? Okay. It reminded me, when Kaka Taha spoke about that, it reminded me of my own recent loss, having to lay my beloved mother to rest. She shaped who I am. مادر جانم نامش عاقله جان بود. And everything I do today for the good of others is inspired by her example and the values she lived. Kaka Muhammad Kushan was right. It is on us now, the youth, and I pray that we have the strength to push forward, to carry the elders' torch, and to honor their sacrifices by building something greater for the generations to come. May every good deed I do in this world be accepted and all the sawab be sent to the Ruh of my Mother John. Ameen. It is a privilege to stand here with you all tonight, united in our commitment to freedom, dignity, and justice. We gather not only to raise our voices against the devastating gender apartheid unfolding in Afghanistan, but also to stand shoulder to shoulder with Afghan women and girls whose courage and resistance under unimaginable circumstances inspire the world. Tonight's forum is not just about bearing witness, it is about carrying forward their struggle, amplifying their voices, and refusing to let silence or indifference take hold while they fight for the most basic of human rights. Our gathering also comes close to the memorial of Shahid Ahmad Shah Massoud, a leader who gave his life for the ideals of justice, dignity, and freedom. His legacy reminds us that resistance to tyranny is never in vain, that truth has power, and that the fight for freedom is one that transcends generations. As we open this evening to our other esteemed speakers, let us honor both the memory of those who came before us and the resilience of those still struggling today. May your discussions, our solidarity, and our actions tonight echo the call for a free, just, and inclusive Afghanistan. So with that, our first speaker for tonight, we are honored to welcome District Attorney Nancy O'Malley to our gathering. She is a true advocate for justice and equity. DA O'Malley's leadership and dedication have made a lasting impact on our communities. We are grateful for her presence with us today, and joining her is Afghan American community leader from the District Attorney's Office, also Nahid Aryajan. Please welcome them.
Last week at this time, there was an earthquake in Jalalabad, and more than 2,500 buried alive. Most of the one who was lost their life was women and children. They wounded, the people who wounded and didn't die, they prefer to die because illness and injury in Afghanistan is a silent killer, especially with the women. Now we want to be voice of the other women who are voiceless. I remember 24 years ago from now, at this date, Nancy O'Malley, as the district attorney, my boss, helping me to represent the violence of Afghan in front of the congressman. The name was Congressman Edward Royce and Donna Roebucker, about silence cries of the Afghan women in my home country, Afghanistan. We, the Afghan women, cannot forget the date was August 23rd, 2001. And once again, we appreciate you that you are here to talk to all of us again about the very necessary changes that you have made in Afghan American community in Alameda County. We, the Afghan American in Alameda County, no longer consider ourselves as outcasted community. For many years, we have lived as a neglected minority, and you ended that. Now the community sees things in a new light. The justice system has different look. The services available to them, establishing Farsi school for Afghan American children. Children of all my friends over here was our students, and Nancy tried to help us to open that Farsi school, that the children learn their native language to speak with their grandparents. The school was in Dublin, that Afghan kids learn their native language and speak with their grandparents. In establishing Afghan Women for Peace book club, that Afghan Women for Peace book club that help us, that we are over here to, as a forefront, women, as a mother, as a teacher, as a grandmother. They could teach their children for the peace to, stop the violence. Also, Nancy make the community, for Afghan community, 4,000 souls in the area was giving and imposed conditions, and while their lack of knowledge of legal terms and code vocabulary being used against them, the English language became a tool for limiting their rights in a system that values only one language. Suddenly a bright sun began to shine. The old world was reached to its end, and its word was approaching from the darkness to disbelief, distrust, and discrimination. My task is to create a bridge of communication between Afghan community who have been underserved or under information about the District Attorney Office and their rights. And I'm honored to serve in the position, and we have already seen great progress, including public service announcement and written materials in Farsi. We make a public service announcement for Afghan community about the violence against women. We try to bring justice to the families. In the Farsi language, there was a PSA, and the system in the Department of Justice, keep it that as an important document. And also we are taking important steps to inform and educate about prevention of crime. Domestic violence is a problem in my community. As the community, our young people need to be engaged so they don't end up involved in gang violence. Many years ago, there was a group of young refugees would come here, they are on their gang, and they try to, stop that violence. It is important to me in the District Attorney Office to educate the community about accessing the District Attorney services like Victim Witness Program and Family Justice Center. The District Attorney Office provides information in different languages, including Farsi is our national language, and I'm able to contact with Afghan families. At the same time, Nancy translated the Saadi poem, which is the English translation is on the United Nations World Oxford University, but as part of diversity, she tried to help the office to translate it in Spanish, in Chinese, and other languages. Now we have almost 24 languages translation of the Saadi poem, Bani Adam Azai Digar. Now we have Nancy speak with you, and she might read that poem for you too in English. Okay.
I'll read it at the end.
All right.
Thank you,
Okay.
Nahid. Thank you very much. So, Nahid, good evening. First of all, I want to say this has been a remarkable evening of gathering, and I speak to you with complete respect and complete thankfulness for all that you're doing for peace, for making sure that, especially in Afghanistan and for people that are served, but in the United States as well, that we have peace and justice for all. So I come to you also as someone who has spent the last 50 years working on violence against women and empowering women, empowering girls, empowering children, educating men about violence and violence against women. So I speak from a position of knowledge, but I also speak from a position of empathy and really vigilance, because I've been doing this for 50 years and I'm still doing it. And that says something, not about me, but about our society, that we're still combating the same issues. So I honor all of you tonight, and that we're spending this evening to talk about that. And I want to just especially do a shout out to all these beautiful women in their white with their green scarves. You look fantastic from here. You look great from down there, but really. And thanking the restaurant and the owners for having us here and making such a beautiful meal for us. I'd like to restart by reciting a poem from the 13th century. It's a Persian poem of Sadi Sirazi, written over 800 years ago. And it is now a symbol of unity, peace, humanity, and justice. No wall is enough to capture this great motto. It is more than that. It's a torch to be handed to future generations. Human beings are members of a whole, in creation of one essence and soul. If one member afflicted with pain, other members uneasy will remain. If you have no sympathy for human pain, the name of human you cannot retain. I wanted to start with that poem because I think it really captures what we're talking about this evening and about what we're doing around violence against women, not just really in the United States, but giving a lot of focus. I have a dear friend who was working for USAID, and she was in Afghanistan for 10 years. And the third day of this year, she got a call that she was being fired and that they were pulling all the American support out of Afghanistan. Her heart is broken, and I know the people that she was helping for the last 10 years, especially women and children, will suffer because they don't have that support that she was providing. I also want to remind us, and I always remind myself of this, is that it was almost 100 years ago when a part of the Constitution was being written for Afghanistan, and there were 5 women involved in the creation of that Constitution. So women as a source of power and authority is not new. In 1964, when the Constitution was rewritten in Afghanistan, there were multiple women who were involved in that process, brought to the table, treated as equals. And then again in 2004, when the Constitution was again written, women were part of that. So there's a history of equality and equity between men and women in Afghanistan. And I'm sorry to say that Afghanistan, just like America and the rest of the world, is suffering still from violence against women. Violence against women, as I'm sure you all agree, is never acceptable, never excusable, and never tolerated. Those words were uttered by the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon several years back. Worldwide today, up to 50% of sexual assault crimes are committed against girls under the age of 16 years old. Globally, 603 million women live in countries where domestic violence is not yet considered a crime. Up to 70% of women in the world report having experienced physical or sexual violence at some point in their lifetime. In California alone, in 2024, 49,000 women were treated for domestic violence by domestic violence shelters and domestic violence and rape crisis agencies. Over 60 million girls worldwide are child brides married before the age of 18. And women and girls make up 80% of the 800,000 people trafficked across national borders. 79% are trafficked for sexual exploitation. So we have a lot of work to do, and the time is now to do that work. You and I join in our commitment to end violence against women, and I know that the women here, Heed especially, are leading that charge. Reports tell us that violence against women, including rape, is widespread in Afghanistan. A new United Nations report details the extent of the problem against a backdrop of impunity and failure by authorities to protect women's rights. Afghanistan ranks 177 out of 177 countries on the issues of Women's Peace and Security Index. The report paints a detailed and deeply disturbing picture of the situation facing many Afghan women today. The UN High Commission for Human Rights, Navi Pillai, said that of the 32-page report issued jointly by her office and the UN Assistance Mission of Afghanistan, Afghan women are participating in almost all sectors of public life, including parliamentarians, civil service, and journalists, but they have been targeted by anti-government elements, by local, traditional, and religious power holders, by their own families and communities, and in some instances by government authorities, says the report. The report also details numerous attacks on girls, schools, on girl students, including gassing and acid attacks. And when it comes to sexual violence, their report states that rape is both widespread and taboo, and it is the victims that are more likely to be punished than the perpetrators. Women are prohibited from seeking treatment from male doctors unless there is a woman present. And there are few, if any, female doctors in Afghanistan. In many instances, victims seek help and justice are further victimized. And I want to say, while I'm speaking about Afghanistan, this is not unique to your country. This is in America. This is in every country on this earth. That's why we fight so hard, because we will continue to fight until we can end violence, until we can make sure that women and girls are safe in our communities. But by some officials, there is not the understanding that rape is a serious crime. So now, for us, is the time to act, and we can act together. Lee Markal reported, and I'm quoting, "Young Afghan women especially set themselves on fire, thinking that if they burn themselves, then everyone will be kind to me." Quote, What she does not realize is that setting herself on fire will disable her and deform her. The husband will think she is useless and get another wife. Afterwards, she is nothing. Of course, based on some traditional laws. In Afghanistan, there are no limits on the number of women that a man can be married to at one time. And yes, some women will burn themselves just to save themselves from harsh, dominant conditions that they live under. Husbands are rarely prosecuted. They are marrying younger women and will continue to live the way that they were before. And divorce is also restricted by some traditional laws in Afghanistan. So a young woman has put up with everything that is imposed on her, and the only time she will be heard or get a chance to plead for divorce in a court that is too corrupt, when she proves her husband can't provide for her, and that will take Noah's life as too difficult to prove. We can change the culture by raising our voices and raising awareness here and in Afghanistan. And as I said, I've been doing this for 50 years. I know you think I'm 25, but I've been doing this for a long time. Domestic violence is a silent tsunami because nobody sees it. So how can we change that dynamic? How can we change these situations for women in Afghanistan, for women in Europe, for women in the United States, and right here in California? In this country, sexual assault and domestic violence are taken very seriously. But we still have too many women who don't come forward, too many girls who don't come forward because of their shame, because of their misunderstanding, because of their fear of what will happen, and because they don't want other people to think that there's something bad happened to her. But Nahid, and who's worked very closely with me in helping sexual assault victims to find their footing, to find their confidence, to find their comfort, to be able to get some semblance of a healthy life back. And that's what we're committed to now. That's what we are committed to working on now. As the community trusts in us, me, Nahid, and all of you in this room, all that work for the safety and stability of women and their children just grows. The number of reports will rise. We do not want the United States to be worse than Afghanistan for abused women. We must fight against women isolated in their countries, especially people who have come here from another country, far away from their families, unable to speak English, and entirely dependent on husbands and in-laws. Most are unaware of the rights they have here in the United States, as Nahid talked about a few minutes ago. Here in our county, we have seen Afghan women hospitalized with head and abdominal injuries. The courageous ones will tell us that the family intimidates her into lying at the hospital about the cause of her injuries. So sadly, many women feel they have no other choice but to stay with the abuser or live with the pain of sexual abuse. We can change that, but it takes trust, it takes building bridges and that carry and secure the trust, and it will take all of us working together. I wish tonight we were here to celebrate world peace, world humanity, unity and justice, and safety for all. But we have more work to do. And for all of the brave people and all of us here across the globe, for all of us, this task is not easy. 3,000 sexual assaults reported each year, 350 sexual assault exams just in our local hospitals. So what can we do? We have several initiatives. We just need to make sure that they are supported. And we join together because the time has come. We can't wait any longer and to really embrace this year's theme of International Women's Day. A promise is a promise. That's a quote. Time for Action to End Violence Against Women seeks to strengthen international community's commitment to put an end to the violence against women. As part of our unified efforts to fight violence against women, I join other leaders and call on other governments and civil society and women organizations and men and young people and private sector and media to join forces in addressing this global pandemic. I commit to you to join with you as we spread the message of unity and solidarity. And as the song that was released today says, we are one woman, and together we can make the world safe for girls and women against violence. Do you have something? So, are you going to sing? Are you going to sing it?
What?
Are you going to sing it?
Well, that was the poem. Yeah.
I'm going to end. My boss is giving me instructions now what I should do. Thank you. I'm going to end with this poem. And it says, human beings are members of a whole, in creation of one essence and one soul. If one member afflicted with pain, other members uneasy will remain. If you have no sympathy for human pain, the name of human you cannot retain. Thank you.
مرسی. سلام و احترام به همه دوستا و میمانایی که اینجا تشریف دارن. با اجازه تان شعر بنی آدم با فرانسوی از طرف ملل متحد ترجمه میخوام. یک کمتون فرانسوی دارم ببخشید. Les êtres humains sont membres d'un entier. En création d'un essence et esprit, si un membre est affligé pour douleur, tous les autres membres resteront inquiets. Si vous n'avez pas de compassion pour la douleur des autres humains, le nombre de l'être humain, vous ne le pourrez pas garder. اگر تو از منت دیگران بیغمی نشاید که نام دهد دارد. تشکر.
Now Shoisra John Gallery Urdu. به اسم عزت متعال شایسته هیری هستم. شعر را که نوید جان ترجمه کردن من فقط دکلمیش میکنم به زبان اردو. ارکان की एक एक जौहर और रूह की तख्लीक में पूरी इंसान अगर एक रुकन के साथ दर्द मुब्तला है दिगर अरकान मुस्तरब रहेगी। आप इंसानी दर्द के लिए कोई हमदर्द नहीं है तो इंसान का नाम आपको हासिल नहीं रहती। इसकी तर्जुमा भी वैसे ही वाज़ेह है कि अगर एक इंसान दर्द में है, प्रॉब्लम में है, मुश्किलात में है तो दूसरा इंसान उसके लिए दुआ करे या कि कुछ भी करे, सपोर्ट करे तो वही अच्छा होता है। यही इंसानियत की पैदाइशी अरकान है। शुक्रिया।
بسم عزت متعال در نخست حضور گرم شما بزرگواران عزیزان را در محفل نشست امروزی شاد باش میگویم و در قدم نخست از خانم آریا تشکری خاص میکنیم که کوچک نوازی کردن و ما را اجازه دادن که در نشست امروزی صحبت داشته باشیم. من این شعر که هستم به زبان عربی میخوانم، خودم عربی را نمیفهمم اما پرکتیس کرده بودم، اگر کدام اشتباهی شده باشه پوزش میطلبم. خلق البشر من النفس الجوهر جعل البشر من النفس المصدر البشر باكمالها هي كالنمر متمسكة يجمع اعضاءها بصفات متجانسة. و همچنان در اینجا که ما هستیم میتونیم آواز خود به دختر خانمایی که در افغانستان هستن و بیش و کمتر 4 سال میشه که مکاتب بسته شدن آرزو داریم که یک صلح سری بیایه و مکاتب باز شوند. با تشکر.
در شما فارسیش میفهمین. بنی آدم مزای یک دیگرند، بنی آدم مزای یک دیگرند که در آفرینش ز یک گوهرند. چو عضو بدرد آرد روزگار دیگر عضو را نماند قرار. تو که از مهنت دیگران بیغمی نشاید که نامت نهند آدمی.
Well, that was very beautiful. Okay, next speaker, we are honored to welcome Mary Steiner, former president of United Nations Association's SF chapter, to our gathering. A steadfast champion for global cooperation, human rights, and peace, her leadership reflects the values we hold close in our work. We are grateful to have Mary Steiner here with us today. Thank you.
Thank you. Warm greetings to everyone here, especially those of you who come such a long way. We are really delighted to have you be with us, and I am so honored and so pleased to be invited to speak. I enjoy being with Afghans because Afghans are some of the strongest, bravest, most courageous people I know, and the women are fantastic, super women. To all of you, I hold you in highest regard. So I want to thank especially Nahid John, who brings me here. We're collaborators, colleagues on the United Nations Association Board of Directors, and especially thanking Sabra John again for this incredible arrangement and setup. She's really the pro at events. And then for the gorgeous dinner, thank you, Fazila John. Yes. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about human rights and the United Nations, of course. As we've heard, United Nations Charter is 80 years old. It was signed and created here in San Francisco Bay Area. And the purpose was, of course, to end all war, the scourge of war. We were so caught up in the horrors of war and the enormous destruction, but also socioeconomic development to prevent wars, as well as protecting the rights of men and women. What's happened in those last 80 years? Well, the United States was a leader in that Charter Convention, and the State Department has been working ever since the presidency of a Republican. President Nixon was behind the establishment of the Convention to Eliminate All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, called CEDAW. And I'm ashamed to say that all 192 member nations of the United Nations have signed, have ratified this convention, except for the United States, the good old USA. So while we American women work so hard, we have a long history, as we've heard, of in trying to improve the status of women and to achieve greater equality and freedom from discrimination, we still have a long battle. And then we find that the present Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, has announced a proclamation. The Security Council of the United Nations has approved 2 proclamations stating that women need to be supported in leadership positions, need to be encouraged to run for office, to have power to help their communities, to serve as appointed officials and such. So that is a proclamation that was approved by the United States, Russia, the Republic of China, the United Kingdom, these are the permanent members, as well as the other members of the Security Council. They should be empowering. Well, I'm happy to say that you and I here in civil society now have the freedom of association and speech here. We're gathered here. Why? Because of the establishment of human rights, but also because it's become the norm. It is normal for us to be able to gather. We expect to be able to do it. And that is being challenged now, as many of you know, even here in the United States. What do? Well, we know when the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was approved, ratified in 1948, it is the most popular, most read United Nations document in the world. It's in 425 languages. We hunger for a standard for human rights. And why? Because we know that we need to respect the dignity of every human being. As we have heard, we all belong to the human family. And what happens when we have disregard and we perpetrate abuse against our fellow human beings? What happens? We have wars, we lose peace. We want the peace, we want the justice, and we want the freedom. Now we are faced in some situations with rebellions because many of us are not having the respect. We're not being heard. And yes, we do have compassion and empathy for the suffering of others. That's why we're here. We want to stop the suffering. However, there are those who do not have empathy or sympathy for the suffering of others. What do? We are facing rebellion. We're looking at civil society disruptions around the world. Well, we look to the rule of law. What is the rule of law? The rule of law are these conventions, yes, that establish the standards. So I want you to know that there's a reason why we women are here dressed in white with our green scarves. It's because we want to support and remember these 30 articles of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and remember what it means for each one of us to have the peace the freedom and the justice we need. We need the justice to be sure that our freedoms are respected. And thank you again for inviting me. I'm Happy Mahikam.
I must say, Dr. Eleanor Weber is one of a kind individual, a devoted leader and dean of humanities, language arts, and social sciences. She led the transformation of the culture to support student success and centered practices. She is a dear friend of our community and Khalanahid Arya's neighbor, and we are very proud to have her here tonight. Welcome her, please.
Thank you so much. You are dear. I love your spirit. There's something powerful about you. Being authentic, you can feel it all over the room. Continue to be the leader that you are.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Nahid, it's an absolute honor to be your neighbor. But more importantly, it's a pleasure to be your sister from different parents. I want to ask everyone to do something, if you don't mind. I'm going to ask you to suspend disbelief and close your eyes for a moment. I'm going to take you on a very quick, short journey in honor of each one of you. I want you to think about a little baby that was born to a 13-year-old. That little baby was not supposed to live much of a life. In fact, by the time that child was 12, had heard no so many times, I don't think that child knew there was a word that was called yes. And before the age of 20, that child was told she would die because of a major illness. Had gotten several feedback from others about the nature of her physical well-being, and understood that adults, just like when she was a kid, didn't listen to her, didn't ask her questions, just made assumptions. And so she understood. She didn't feel like she was transitioning. That little girl that was born to a 13-year-old who was supposed to die before the age of 20 actually continued to live. But it was with the understanding that she was frail, she wouldn't amount to very much, and she would probably be like her mother. As everyone said, she would have a child before she was 13, and they couldn't believe she didn't have a child. They thought she'd be in the street like they thought her mother was. But no one knew that her mother had been abused since the age of 5. That led to the birth of that little girl. No one asked that mother any questions. That mother ran away, and that child was reared in foster care. And for a short time, that child was homeless. And that child kept hearing the no's. That child realized that the adults around didn't have enough energy, effort, or even unconditional love to pay attention to that child. So even at the age of 7, that little girl decided, I'm not my circumstances. I'm going to choose to be who I choose to be. And then along the way, she too had been abused like her mother was, and just realized she had to protect herself from the environment. She continued to move through life, and she ended up in 2 PhD programs at the top so-called public institution on the planet. I don't believe it's the top, but people have said it was and is, UC Berkeley. And but then she had been diagnosed in grade school as mentally retarded. And yet she's in 2 PhD programs. She had worked at Stanford. And then she became a researcher at the University of California at Berkeley. Then she went on to become a college president. And you're looking at her right now. I'll be 67 in October. The reason why I tell that story is to literally remind the women in this room, to remind the men in this room, to remind the youth in this room that we're not our circumstances. And I'm just reminding you, because you already know. Those of you who've come from other countries, you've gone through a lot. You've witnessed it real time. You chose to come here. That's not minor. And a number of you came here not speaking English in a way that you felt comfortable. It was broken, and some of you still think it's broken. And actually, quite frankly, some of you, like Naeed, speak better than some people who were born here. So I say release that concern about your communication and embrace the power that you already are as men, as boys growing into men, as young ladies growing into full women, as women. The essence, and I'll bring this to a close and then transition us to something else, is that we come from greatness. We come from greatness. We are part of greatness, and we return to greatness. So whatever our respective spiritual beliefs, it's very important to realize or to remember that we're being harmed because there's an entity that some of us allow to possess ourselves, hopefully no one in this room, that there's an entity that needs us to feel lack, to feel less than, to be less than. When we understand our power, when we leverage our power, we're like you in this room. We get up here with absolute clarity and conviction, and we convey what we understand in our capacity. When we know that we're not our circumstances, we're who we choose to be, the greatness that is within us is further illuminated. So we need our remarkable DA, District Attorney Nancy O'Malley. We need every one of you in here to continue to do the work, to influence policy, influence practical realities, to influence condition. The power really is in each one of us as individuals. We live our lives with integrity. We live our lives understanding that we are more than we appear to be, even when we look in the mirror. We live our lives knowing that we get to create and recreate because we come from greatness, we're part of greatness, and we return to greatness. And I am not me without you. And even if I never see you again, the degree to which you're healthy, you're happy, you're doing the right thing for the right reasons all the time, and you're free emotionally, spiritually, I am. I am. I am because you are. I'd like to ask us all to stand. And I'd like to ask us to honor someone who is graceful. She's a part of all of us. And she spoke tonight and humbled me again. We're going to celebrate someone's birthday. Guess now I just threw it up. Would you ask, all of us, ask the distinguished and humble and gentle, beautiful spirit, Nancy O'Malley, to come forward? And in the spirit of each one of you genius individuals who care about community, who care about one another, who are the reason why I'm here. I had 2 hours of sleep last night. The last place I wanted to be was away from my dog. I just wanted to be in the bed. I had to be here. So I am honored to be here. I hold you in such high regards. So I'd like for us to take it away. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, dear Nancy. Happy birthday to you.
And with that, I'm going to pass it over back to Sohail John. If you may please come back on stage, Sohail John. Sohail, ببخشید, I'm not really good with the names.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, thank you.
تشکر میکنم از بانوی گرامی، خواهر گرامی ما سهیل جان بهادری. واقعا که بسیار زیاد این بخش برنامه را مقبول و زیبا گردانندگی کردن و ما افتخار میکنیم به این جوانای امروزی و بانوان و خواهران گرامی خود.
سلام و عرض ادب خدمت همگی شما نازنینا. من اومدم که همکاری خود مجرایی خود برای شما بتم امشب با شما نازنینا باشم، با هموطنان نازنین خود باشم. البته هفته گذاشته من کمک کنه، من نمیفهم ریزش بود یا الرژی بود، کمک صدایم خوب نیست. بازم شما به بزرگواریتان ببخشین هر اشتباهی که میشن. نگاه کردم بابر راما شمالی زی کابل تا بپروانی تو زخمیست، زی کابل تا بپروانی تو زخمیست. با تپه رفتم و خوردم تصاد، نظر کردم که پهلوانی تو زخمیست. گذشتم از سر پل با غم و درد شبرهانی تو زخمیست، غم و درد شبرهانی تو زخمیست. یقینم شد درختانی تو زخمیست، نمی آید صدای اندلیبان باغ و راه مرغانی تو زخمی وطن شبهای طاقت را بنازد چرا یک سر چراغانی تو زخمیست چرا یک سر چراغانی تو زخمیست چرا یک سر چراغانی تو زخمیست مهربانی تشکر واقعا وطن ما زخمیست مردم ما زخمیست همگی ما زخمیستیم به هر جای چی به افغانستان هستیم چی به اینجا هستیم واقعا زخمی هستیم میخوانین ترانه را ای وطن گلشن خاور زمین ای وطن مادر مرد آفرین میخوانین اگه شما نمیخوان ما دو جان تمامی بیایی نمگیتم خیلی بیایی عزیزم نای جان بفرمایید
ای وطن گلشن خاور زمین
ای وطن مادر مرد آفرین
ای وطن
گلشن خاور زمین ای وطن مادر مرد آفرین ای وطن مادر مرد آفرین همگی بخونین
Thank you for inviting me. I'm gonna do whirling dance, and I'm doing it for this is my prayer for peace and unity in the whole world. And yeah, let's pray that it happens soon. Thank you.
بشنو از نعیم چون
افتخار مولانای بزرگ، به افتخار خودتان، به افتخار افغانستان پر افتخار و مردم پر افتخارش تشکر میکنم. قربان لطفتان، قربان پایایتان، قربان زحمتایتان.
ما آمده ایم تا بگوییم هیچ قدرتی بالاتر از قدرت اتحاد و همدلی نیست. این جنبش متعلق به من و شماست، به هر انسانی که باور دارد آینده روشن‌تر ممکن است. آینده ای که در آن کودکان با لبخند بزرگ شوند، نه با صدای انفجار. امروز از اینجا تا همین جمع پرشور پیامی به دنیا میفرستیم. ما صلح میخواهیم، ما آزادی میخواهیم و برایش میایستیم. و افتخار داریم که در این مراسم بنیانگذار این حرکت بزرگ یاور صاحب با ماست. جمعبندی برنامه را واگذار میکنم من به برادر بزرگ ما، برادر دوست داشتنی ما که سالها در مطبوعات زحمت کشیدن در افغانستان و در اینجا تشریف دارن، جناب سلطانی صاحب گرامی. و افتخار سلطانی صاحب هم یک کف محکم بزنیم. ما امشب جسارت کردیم، معذرت میخواهیم که پیش بزرگوار
همکاری جمعی از دوستا، جمعی از بابنان عزیز که تشریف آوردن و سپاسگزاری میکنیم. مطمئن هستم که دوستا خیلی زحمت کشیدن، لطف کردن. خداوندگار بزرگ ما هم توان بده که ما هم جبران باور ما همی است که با آزادی برسیم و در کنارش مطمئن هستم همگی تشنه آزادی و حسالت و رسالت در سرزمین ما هستند. بابت تک ایستادگی جمعی از دوستا عزیزانی که واقعا تا هنوزم کنار ما هستن سپاسگزاری میکنیم. من فکر میکنم که سپاسگزاری نمیتونه یعنی تمام مسئله رو حل بکنه. یعنی ما هر چقدر سپاسگزاری بکنیم بازم فکر میکنیم که مناسب نیست، چون با سپاسگزاری نمیشه کل حرف تمام شود. جناب آقای سخی هم خیلی زحمت کشیدن. جمعی از همکارانی که داخل رستوران کنار ما بودن از اونا هم سپاس میکنم. آقای رامش بزرگوار، شما هم بابت همکاریتون، از بانوی عزیزی که کنار ما بودن، مهمانان عزیز همچنان از بانوی عزیزی که در قسمت رقص سما با ما همکاری کردن، از اینا هم سپاسگزاری میکنیم. امیدوار هستیم که روز بتونیم تک زحمات شما مهربانا را جبران بکنیم. من مطمئن هستم چون برنامه هم آخر است، جا ندارد. جمع از دوستان انتظار هستند. همگی وار خطا است که باید بریم بخیر، چون ساعت شب هم فکر میکنم دیر شب است. ما تقریبا یک 6-7 دانه تقدیرنامه داریم به جمعی از دوستا و عزیزایی که در آلمان کنار ما کار میکنن و همچنان 3 نفر از عزیزایی که در امریکا کنار ما یعنی سخت درخشیدن، کار کردن، زحمت کشیدن. اگر اینم توسط دوستا تقدیم بکنیم بعد باز یک جا خداحافظی بگیریم، خیلی خوشحال میشم.
آغازم سرما کردن و انجامشم سرما میکنن بر صورتش. میخوایم که تقدیرنامه را یا شجاعتنامه برش میتونم بگویم کسانی که از راه دور آمدن و از یک کشور جسارت میخوایم. از نماینده عمومی جنبش صلح آزادی جناب قریشی صاحب، مسعود قریشی، خواهشمندیم که به جایگاه تشریف بیارن و جنبش صلح آزادی آلمان و طریق طرف جناب یاور صاحب برشان عطا شود. تبریک باشه، بخیر باشه.
از جمع تیم آلمان هم هست، اینا میرسانند تا همکارای ما.
برای کنشکار زیالیس فکر کنم صدیقی، کنشکار صدیقی و نقیب الله صدیقی از تیم کنشکار زیایی و لطف الله صدیقی، آرمان بلخی، حکمت مسلح، سلطان شمال، سهراب بدخشی، تمام و برشان رسیده شود و قلبا سپاسگزار هستیم پیشون.
از میرویس احمدی مسئول
از میرویس احمدی که واقعا زحمت میکشه با جنبش دوش با دوش حرکت میکنه، تقاضامندیم بیاین که از طرف معاون صاحب اول جنبش جناب انجینر صاحب انصار جایش برش تفویض شود.
جناب قادری صاحب بتیم باز اونا هستن، شعیب قادری.
ای کاش تو مولانا شوی من شمس تبریزت شوم. چی کیف کرد؟ شو از شعیب قادری تقاضا میگه. شعیب قادری است؟ شعیب قادری از خود یاور صاحب و یا آمون صاحب برشان تبریز بکنن. تبریک باشه با امید موفقیت های بیشتر. یک چیز میخوایم بگویم، ما قبلا میخوایم که من در مورد یاور یک کم صحبت بکنم. شاید کلتان بشناسین در سایت های اجتماعی یاور صاحب یا سایمی یاور یا دوست شده باشین. من 12 سال است میشناسمش. 12 سال میشناسمش و از اور یک جنبش نهاد ما شکل داده و بدبختانه روی بعض معضلات و بعض موضوعات از هم پاشیده. ولی این تقدیرنامه ها، این شجاعتنامه ها و این رسالت هایی که شما به دست میگیرین خیلی مسئولیت داره. رفتن به طرف آزادی، همپذیری، گام گذاشتن به طرف فردا خیلی مهم است و یک قول کار داره. چون کسایی که رفتن، من وقتی که یاور صاحب در ابتدا میدیدم در بعض برنامه وقت حرکت میکرد، من در گامایش چکوارا رو میدیدم. گفتم چکوارا است. یک روز برای زنگ زدم، گفتم برای من یکی از بخشای امنیتی یک بخشای خیلی مهم کار میکنم، نمیخوام بگم. برای من تماس گرفت، گفت که ام دوست یاور صاحب گفت رو میکنم. فرشته کوستانی رو کردم. فرشته کوستانی در وزارت داخله با یک جای بودیم، گفت که سندان خود گفت که خداوند ببخشش، گفت سلطانی صاحب گفت مرا خو میزنن. وزیر داخله هم جواب داد، گفت مصطفی چطور میشه؟ بچه‌کش بود. من گفتم نه خدا نکنه. چند وقت پیش تروش کردم. ما مرده هایی هستیم که فقط روح ما داره دم میزنه و همچنان یاور صاحب بارها مردیم. حال ما فکر نمیگم ما زنده هستیم یا مردیم. ما هر روز بهش تماس گرفتم، گفتم هیچ یادم نمیاد از های خیرخانه بود. برای من بخش امنیتی تماس گرفت، گفت یاور ترور میکنن یا ما سیاوش ترور کردن. یاور صاحب گفت که چطور سلطانی صاحب؟ من گفتم کمک متوجه باش، هم در نظام هم در بخشای نهادهای مدنی مشکل است. گفت ما اگر سر بریده میترسیدیم در مجلس عاشقان نمیرقصیدیم. گفت ما وقت رقص خدا کردیم، وقت تابوت خدا جور کردیم، کفن خودم گرفتیم. ما مدستیم، پشتی گپا نگرد. و چطور یافتمش در امریکا؟ آواره شدیم در به در، بیچاره همگی ما شما. یکی از سایت های اجتماعی دیدم که یک صدای بسیار مدتان صحبت میکنه درباره آزادی، آبادی، سربلندی و بر ضد تعصبات قومی و سمتی و نژادی صدا بلند میکنه. گفتم این صدا خیلی آشنا است. رفتم داخلش، گفتم شاید من نشناسم. برام پیام کرد، گفت من اون آدم هستم. خیلی خوشحال هستم در کنارش هستم. حمایت بکنید که دیگه تا بتونید به اون جایگاهی که میخواید برسید. فردای کشور دستای شما است. از این نمیشه بتونید جشن کنید، پرش بکنید، میتونید برسید. در صورتی که شما تا جدا هستیم، انگشتان افگاریم. ما مشت اگر گردیم از آن دندانا خواهد شکست. تا زمانی که مشت نشیم نمیتونیم. ما هنرمندم نیستیم و ایده جمعه بگویم دوستا شب بخیر. امیدوارم به خداوند کریم رحیم میسپارم اگه تقدیرنامه باقی نمانده باشه. از راستی یک تقدیرنامه که باید اول میگفتم از جناب امید ابرار که از راه خیلی دور تکساس تشریف آوردن و از شورای سرتاسری پروانی ها بر جناب یاور صاحب ادعا میکنن از فورد تکساس. تشکر از ابرار صاحب. و جا داره که یک تشکری دیگه هم از
عرف تقدیرنامه همی است که گرفتی ما صادقانه و سرزمین خود خدمت میکنیم.
والا شما خود ضمن از اینکه یک آگاهی سیاسی یک نظامی هم هستین، شما تعهد سپردین میکنین این کاره. و جا داره که از امی هال یا رستوران از جایی که برای من تشکر از وحیده جان و فضیله جان، من نمایش یاد گرفتیم، شناخته دارم که کی هستن. و قبل که راستی جمعی آمدیم یک کسی گفتم در چی میرم در میوان ولش میرم. گفت خب پیش وحیده و فضیله میری؟ گفت والا برای که دیده باشه میشم خب همونجا میرم دیگه. باید قلبا تشکری میکنم. بسیار خوب. بسیار خوب. اوکی. با خدا مادر و دختر از دیگه جوانتر. ماشاءالله. با امید موفقیت بیشتر در خداوند دیگه هم برای شما برکت داره. و یاور صاحب تشکری از شما میگم از تک تکتان. قدم رنجه که جای دور آمدید خصوصا از آلمان، کانادا و از شهرهای مختلف امریکا. شب بخیر. من نرمال نیستم بخوانم براتون سعی دارین. من دیگه خلاص است. تمام.